All right. Good evening, everyone. We are back in the studio with the large painting I've been working on for my background. So, yeah, I was working before this stream even started, so we're kind of like midway. Just been darkening some of the blacks down here. All right. Oh, what's up, Cirilla? How we doing? Don't eat the paint. So anyway, doing the tour again. I mean, most of this we've already seen. I did a little bit of work since last time I was on, but essentially hasn't been touched too much. Just because I got all different projects I'm starting to balance here. In and out of the studio. Wait a second. I think my audio's on the other one. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah. And Cirilla's already here, right? Cirilla, want to be on camera? Hello, lady. Hello. Anyway, yeah. So as she's doing this, I got Monster Mania in Baltimore coming up this weekend, which was a fantastic show last year. I mean, it was in October though. I don't know if they're going to move it back to October. I hope they don't, because I don't want to lose my spot if they suddenly changed up again and add another date on. Also, Fan Expo Philly in 2 weeks, and then the Geekdom Con in 3 weeks, which is in the greater Philadelphia area. So I'm going to be out in the Philly area, or close enough to it. Greater Philadelphia area. Oaks is not really Philly, but it's definitely the greater Philly area. But yeah, I'll be out in that direction twice this month, and then I'll be back in New Jersey for New Jersey Ink Fest. I have been completing all different projects this week. Last week actually, including another Chadiana piece for A Kid in a Comic. And if you haven't been reading that, it is whatchamacallit, definitely worth picking up a subscription to read. I mean, you know, everything in A Kid in a Comic is worth reading, but you're missing out on a pretty good Chadiana story. I still have issues of the back issues that you catch up on what you've missed, but I was very excited to get that in A Kid in a Comic. It's different telling a Chadiana story in a newspaper format, a strip format, but it is it's a really good story that led me to some other ideas for the series. The taking very long to get out series, I should say, but I am committed to continuing it. Actually, that's part of what I had to change with my schedule. I do need more time to be working on things like Chadiana long-term projects. And even freelance work. So I kind of had to shift my studio schedule around a bit. Anyway, yeah, so what I'm doing here with this painting is darkening those black areas just so that there's more contrast in the foreground and middle ground. Foreground, of course, being this purple area, and the middle ground sort of being Chadiana's area. You know, I just want those to have stronger contrast against the backdrop of the, what is this getting called on? Oh, I say. I just want there to be a stronger contrast. The stuff in the back fades out. I didn't know that I was definitely going to have to go over all this black again, but yeah, turns out I do. Maybe not every single little line, like I might leave some of this a little grayer. But yeah, there's a lot of it that I have to redo. And then I still have to do I have to still do some on the fire elements in this. So that top fire up there by the dragon, the lantern, and the jack-o'-lantern. And then when those are done, before I put in the bright highlights, I will be doing the colored pencil part of it. I'm going to say that this painting is going to come in somewhere in the ballpark of 25 to 30 hours work. And I just hope it's worth it in the end. As far as getting my table to stand out. It's not just to make it stand out when you're near it either, but to be able to find it in a hall amongst all the other booths, they just need to be, it needs to be easier to find me. And of course, it needs to be attention grabbing too, which is why it's so purple and red. I'm especially stuck with the color red because one, it matches with Chadiana, and two, it can work as a horror color as well. I also use it in my branding, so that's a good number 3. And number 4, though maybe most importantly, is like red really stands out. That's why so many corporations use red in their branding. It's attention getting. So red can also have some negative connotations, but I'm just going with the stuff that's for grabbing people's attention, really. Nothing more or less than that. Anyway, yeah, so we're coming to the end of these, at least the Facebook live streams, because I think I'm just going to be doing YouTube live after this, because yeah, I'm just not getting again, StreamYard's becoming very expensive to maintain. So once my annual membership runs out, and then again, as I've kind of alluded to, I think I'm just going to go down to once a week. I mean, once a month, not instead of once a week, just because, yeah, it's hard sacrificing my weekends as well as 2 nights a week. There's not much of a social life happening behind the scenes, so I would like to fix that, but I don't want to just jump ship out of nowhere. So, I want to give it some weeks for everyone to get the information and be caught up, before I make the transition. And if they still don't know, I'll just be like, hey, I was saying it for weeks. So, can't help if you weren't paying attention. But actually, I was kind of alluding to it for a month or 2 at this point. Anyway. So, yeah. And yeah, once I finish with all this black, which probably, I don't want to get too hopeful about this. I don't think it's going to take me the whole stream to finish painting the black elements of this. I don't think. I can get right into the colored pencil. Oh no, wait, that's right. I got to do the fire part. The fire seems to be taking me a long time. It's always harder to do it on top of darker colors. And I love painting fire. But you know what? If I can move fast enough through the fire, which honestly, fire can be a very fast thing for me to paint, then yeah, I could already get into the colored pencil bit, which is also a lot of fun. I feel like it really enhances the piece on the acrylics. I do use them more with the colored pencils. Colored pencils. I do use colored pencils more with the watercolors now. That definitely has been happening, but um, you know, not as much as I do on the acrylics, just because they don't require as much of it. And usually I'm using watercolors as a faster method of creating artwork. So, there is that. Um, Also, I shouldn't forget to mention this. There is a Kickstarter going on right now. I should have put it in the comments of this video, but there's a Kickstarter going on right now for Gobblers number 3. And if you've been watching my stream for any length of time, all 2 or 3 people that do, um, you know, whatchamacallit, I did a variant cover for Gobblers number 2 some time ago. This one, however, is a little special because there's 2 versions of it, a risque, otherwise a not safe for work version, just some top nudity, and a regular version. And the regular version, first of all, this is my first risque cover too. Um, but the regular version was still done traditionally in the sense that I just put a patch that I painted on a separate sheet of paper using all the same materials. And even though I digitally combined the two, I feel like when you look at the regular version, you can't tell that I did a patch. It looks seamless. So I'm quite proud of that. I'm quite proud that I was able to still, if you're getting the regular cover, because risque or not safe for work stuff isn't your thing, or you have kids or are a younger child, maybe not child, but maybe teenager or older kid, you know, because it's not that kind of book. It's the kind of art the creators do on other books of theirs. If you are somebody that's just not into or not going to get a not safe for work piece of artwork, you're still getting a really nice piece. Of course, you can get both versions in there. And wouldn't you know, you can also buy my artwork. Both the original artwork for the first one I did for Gobblers number 2 and the artwork that I did for Gobblers number 3. The original artworks are available on the Kickstarter campaign. So I think, oh yeah, well, the regular version of the comic is $20 for the variant cover. Again, it's because you're getting a variant cover. The comic itself is not normally that much. I think it's like 10. $20 for the variant cover regular, 25 for the risque. You want to get both, you get a $5 discount, so it's like 40 for the 2. And of course, the OA original artwork is much more expensive, being in the $600 range for both of them. I was going to go a little bit lower, but Steph and Carrie Ann said that, I'm doing a full painted piece. And Steph's getting like 500 for his pencils. So they were like, no, you have to charge more. I was like, all right, if you guys say so, I'll charge more. I don't know if I'll sell it, but I'm hoping I do. Honestly, people, it's starting to happen again. It's weird that last year I didn't sell a lot of OA, but 2 years ago I did. And now this year I seem to be selling a decent amount of OA. And, people have paid those prices for OA already. So it's not so no. I'm sorry, 2023 I didn't sell any OA. I sold a couple of pieces in because I forgot about that comic page especially, which was close to the price of that cover. Um or those covers. So yeah, people will pay it. I just know that it's not as common for somebody to buy OA. But if you want to own a piece, it's a good price, I feel, for the kind of work you're getting on it. In my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. Yes. Okay. Also, if OA is your thing, I do have my whatnot. That's where I list a lot of my original artwork. Um, so I don't know. I keep thinking about doing an online store, doing like a Shopify site or something, but we'll see. And I'm still not convinced I'm going to get enough traffic over there. But, if I could, great. And if not, it's all right. Um, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just talking. Yeah, no, I'm just not 100% confident I could drive the traffic to my online store yet. Etsy's doing okay. I got some hits still on Redbubble. And what's the other one? Oh, yeah, Whatnot's doing really good. Whatnot's like taking over where Etsy was, essentially. But yeah, they're both doing well. So yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say whether or not I will uh, open a store through my regular website in the near future. Distant future, almost certainly. But likely I'll do it on a attached website. Like I don't know. JM the Santa store or something. .com or whatever. God, I'm like painting around cat hairs. That damn cat. Also, unfortunately, a little bit of dust on this. I should have wiped it down before I started. Not with wet paper towel. Obviously, never. Even though it's acrylics, don't use wet mediums on your paintings unless you have specific cleaning supplies for specific types. Watercolors, it's never going to work. But there's dry methods of cleaning artwork, including what I have, which is just a non-abrasive brush, usually used for cleaning up the eraser bits off of a paper. But it can work for dusting off a painting really quick. Okay, just making sure all these lines are doing good. What do we got? Nope, that is just StreamYard being StreamYard. StreamYard has this. I was checking to see if there was a. That's weird because that's. Why is that white? There's no actual white on that paper. It's just the gleam of the. I'm surprised. Like, there we go. No way of covering up the light sources. I guess it's coming from behind me. Anyway, I'm just kind of talking. Yeah, we're almost good here. We've almost gotten all this black filled in. It is taking a lot less time than I thought. Where it's really going to be tough is over here. Oh, man, I still got to do the fire. I really like fire. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just having again a tough time getting it to show up on this. All right. We're just gonna we're just gonna get to it once I get to that part of it. Um, yeah, because we want actually the eyes on Cirilla over here are pretty much done, right? Like she's good. Right? Yeah, I might add some highlights, but yeah, she's good. Because I just wanted this light green because Cirilla's eyes are green. And I wanted to do larger pupils just because that tends to, at least because our sensibilities this day look, these days kind of look cute. So, um, I don't know. I was just thinking about when Chris Campana, a friend of mine, brought his dog JB to a comic show that we were doing in New Jersey, Garden State. I think it was last year, actually. And I was, of course, it was great to meet his dog in person. And it just made me envy people that have dogs. I had dogs growing up, but there's no way I would ever get Cirilla to come to a convention. She'll jump up on the table and show herself during a stream. But getting her in a cat carrier to travel, there's just no friggin' way. I think the cat would disown me at that point. I think she would. Trying to make sure she sticks out off the background too nicely. I've done all that nice inking work with her hair, and now I got to redo it, and it will not look quite as good because it's gonna have been gone over once. Sorry, it's not the end of the world, but I have to be careful that I don't water down the black too much because then what'll happen is it'll get the faded look that this got over here that I'm gonna have to try to fix. It's a fine line with acrylics. You can get them looking kind of watercolorish, but if you're not careful, just because of the nature of the paint and depending on what you're trying to achieve, they will just look way too blurred and blotchy. So they're not good working with them as opaque as watercolors a lot of the time. I'm sure there are some people that do well with them that way, but um, I like it when they got not a chunkiness to them, but just a little bit of an opaque quality. Did I say opaque earlier when I meant transparent? I think I did. I don't know. I think I said it backwards. But I might add in more shadows here as a result of just being able to add to this more. Cirilla is a beauty. Do, 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 do. That cat hears me talking about her right now, and as I'm coming, she's just probably thinking, what the hell does he want now? He's gonna want me to get off the drafting table again. I'm not going over there. Not setting myself up. Totally fair, Cirilla. Totally fair. Sometimes I'll want that cat up here, and then the minute she does, I like instantly regret it. I'm like, okay. I thought she was just gonna sit nicely, and I forgot that she's just gonna be all over my face. Although last night I was playing some games and, she was just sitting right next to me and I was petting her and playing and doing my thing. Oh, this morning too, when I was reading, right? Finally getting in the Perdido Street Station novel that was recommended to me again, but once something like over a decade ago and then a second time more recently. Same person. Just hadn't seen them in years. But I remembered China Mieville. That's what I remembered. So the book was re-recommended. If I'm pronouncing that last name right. Looks like Mieville, but I can't be 100% sure. Oof. Alrighty. Alright, good. These shapes are starting to come back into clearer view. Again, I just want the bottom part to look very stark and very, how do I put it? Very high on contrast and very dark. Because when I'm sitting behind the table, a lot of times this is going to be covered up. I mean, it'll be propped up higher, maybe not all of it, but I really want the eyes to hit the part that I'm showing that you can't see right now. And then my name at the top. So this bottom part is just to, it's sort of a negative space area, but I still wanted to keep it interesting. And, fill it with some little bits of things that are references to other things that I like or in my life, like the jack-o'-lantern for Halloween and Cirilla being the familiar cat that is sitting atop it. The witch cat. Ah, such a beautiful cat she is. Just very much so. I mean, you can see the difference. Well, I know it's clear, but That's the big reason why normally I wouldn't go through this much trouble, but I don't care in most cases if the areas of black that I paint look stark black, but in this particular piece, that's what I'm going for. A reddish purple and black. And yeah. And in a way, even though the background and foreground are similar in the sense that they are, there's less colors in them. Okay, they're more monochromatic. Especially the background. The foreground's kind of like just high contrast one color with black. But uh oh crap, I don't remember what I was saying about that. There was a point I was making about the foreground and the background. Oh, yeah, right. Even though the foreground and background are different, basically the foreground, middle ground, and background, I'm almost treating like three different paintings, just using the same materials, and of course, in relatively the same style and somewhat color scheme. You know. Hey Jim, how you doing? Why does it show it twice? Oh, I see. What a weird thing. Oh man, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're doing all right, man. I know we didn't talk much last week, but again, congratulations on your speech. Also, a little disappointing. I did not work on languages that much last month. I was very close. I've pretty much worked out all the verbal morphology for my Semitic languages. I'm just having a hell of a time with the uh, nouns and adjectives because I was hoping to use like blanket systems, but Semitic languages don't seem to agree all the time on the way they do those. So it might very soon boil down to me just making some decisions, like, especially based on coined words already in those. But I got to be honest, I was having some pretty down weeks, just feeling pretty down and burnt out all of April. So I think I only put about 5 hours into the languages all month. Ah, thank you. Yeah, I'm just darkening, as I've been saying on the stream, talking to no one, I'm just darkening these black areas in the front because the idea is um, mainly to, again, kind of have the background fading a bit. So I want Chadia to pop the most, but I want pure black in her outlines, which I've started to do. And this will be high contrast, but it'll fade a little bit. Once I finish all the black and I shape up some of the fire elements, I'll be getting into color pencil element of it, which adds a lot of extra detail and texture. I also do it well, you see me do it sometimes with watercolor pieces, mostly for like the highlights and stuff, but when I do it on acrylics, I tend to use even more colored pencil, just because I like the way it looks. It's an old Drew Struzan technique, although I don't work anything like Drew Struzan. Um, so yeah, this is just helping me get Creative decisions are scary but fun. I really like the fade technique. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. But I should say I feel like if you're mentioning creative decisions on the languages, because I was talking about that too. I think I've done so much work and research on Semitic languages. I just, and I may have said this before, I really thought because of their very mathematical way of working that they would have been the easiest to do. But it turns out not so much because there's so much nuance and variety in them and so many things that languages do contradictory to each other that it's very hard for me to base a system on existing languages without worrying constantly that I'm not creating some kind of faux pas that would make it seem like laughable gibberish. Not that it's still not going to be I don't know. Since I'm trying to make them represent actual languages, I don't want to do something that would just be like, wow, that was kind of a childish decision you made there, JM, but we'll let it slide. But, that's part of the point too, I guess, is it could be let slide. So yeah, I'm at the point where it's just like, you know what, I could do this or I could do that, or I could just make it up and do this. And you know what, either way, it's good. Because there's things that I already changed. I would say that the most representative of a real world language is the one that's more based on Arabic, probably functions very much like Arabic. But the Dwarvish language is going to have elements, at least sound wise, and certain things it does that kind of also mimics Old Norse at the same time. Like it's going to have more diphthongs than Semitic languages tend to have. So, and since there's nothing much on Egyptian, and Coptic doesn't work quite the same because it's a bit agglutinative in nature, which in a weird way does kind of work. I'm already making some decisions that are just like, yeah, well, I like this, I like that. When I burned out, I had work that absolutely had to get done. And suddenly the languages kind of just fell to the wayside again because it was like either if it was on a deadline, it was getting done, and everything else just kind of didn't because I just was not feeling great, you know. April, for whatever reason, turned out to be a rough month. I don't even know what caused it, except maybe I was working too hard and it just caught up with me, which I have a tendency to do. It may not seem like it, or maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe I don't give myself enough credit, but I can work myself too hard sometimes. So that's partly why I'm making changes to my schedule yet again, just to try to like ease up the stress and maybe get somewhat of a social life back. That's why I have said it on other shows, but I know you haven't been around much. I'm probably when the StreamYard thing, probably in June, when the StreamYard um, uh, annual membership starts to run out, and then I won't be able to use both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously anymore because it'll be too cost prohibitive. I'll probably go down to once a month on the live streams. I'll only be streaming to one platform, but I'll go down to once a month only because, again, like I'm making a weekly income on Whatnot on Wednesday, but giving up 2 nights a week every week plus my weekends is a little rough. I can revisit it again, but and I'm not like stopping the live streams. Again, I might be doing those like once a month just because I want a little time back. It might be better for me in the long run anyway. And who knows? Oh, for sure. That's the part that I'm trying to remember right now is that, it's not a race. I just, you know, I kind of do it like that sometimes. You know what it is? It's because, like, take the languages, for example. And I think sometimes that's why I wind up taking breaks too, is because I get overwhelmed because I want it done. It's not that I don't want to work on it because I do, but I want it to be so much further along. So then that's how I would have the habit of working on too many languages at the same time when I would just sit down to work on one. That's why I'm doing the broad strokes of the language families and then going into the nuances. Had to create another document to do that because I was doing it between sheets in two different documents, but then I realized, no, I need a comparative method in a document, and then I can export that stuff out to the individual ones, which is still fine, but it's keeping it even better organized and more focused because I don't want to get too crazy. Um, Again, they're supposed to be like, but not exactly other existing languages. So fill in a bunch, then start making changes and decisions. Fill in a bunch based on real world stuff and then make decisions and changes and stuff like that. That's basically the method it's boiled down to. So, yeah, I know. Oh, now we're starting to fill up with I'm seeing people coming in. Oh man, I left my drink in the refrigerator though. Might have to go get it. It's been at least in my apartment, it's been warm lately because, my apartment retains heat. Awesome in the winter, don't have to use too much heat, but in the summertime, man, it gets rough. Oh, and also part of the reason to change up my schedule, believe it or not, is so that I have more time still for stuff like languages and Chadiana and the more important projects. Because I think I wasn't allowing enough time for certain things like, I don't know, sending out my newsletter or scheduling my social media posts. And that stuff would sometimes just kind of be like lingering things unfinished that I would feel like, okay, I got to attend to it, but do I have time today? No, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. And then I would just get kicked down the road too much. So yeah, I'm making changes to that too. So I'm going to have a day that is just dedicated to that stuff. I know that that doesn't help me directly with creating things, but I think in the long run, the easing the pressure off of some of those things by having a day when they can focus on them will actually make me more creative, you know. So it just sucks because I wish I had the stamina to just create 7 days a week and not have to slow down. But as creative as I am, I don't seem to have that kind of stamina. I don't know that I ever did. And I don't mean that in a bragging way to say as creative as I am. I know I love doing it. And I know from feedback alone, people say I do make a lot of, I produce a lot. So, anywho, um, yeah. And I know you said the talk went well. How was the whole conference? You know, and I mean, if you don't mind, what was what was the response to your presentation with your co-conlangers? Asking you, Jim. Oh, we got somebody else here. Imagination drawing. Is this oil pastels? Oil paint, you mean? I guess you're correcting. It's acrylics, actually. I don't work in oils just because they dry too slow for me. So, um, being somebody who's dominantly a watercolor and ink artist with some acrylics, yeah, I don't have the patience for oils. Maybe one day, there are definitely things you can do with them that are not as easily achievable with other paint types, and some things that just aren't because it's just a different medium, so it's never going to look the same. But yeah, I can't sit around waiting for. I've tried them, not in a long time though. Uh, oh, very nice. Okay, wow, these are coming fast. It's like um a real stream now. Quick, 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 super work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. There's a bright red color up there too. All kinds of stuff going on. It's 20 by 30, that piece. The conference was great. The presentation was well received. Lots of networking, great food. Man, I missed all the good things. Networking, food, and presentations. I wasn't mimicking your hymn. That just kind of came out that way. I was just thinking to myself right after I read that. Um, but yeah, thank you. I'm glad you liked the piece. And yeah, I'm glad the conference was good, Jim. I just, I don't know. I really thought I was going to be doing less shows this year. And again, if I had known in advance and hadn't had something already scheduled when they put out the dates, I would have just said the hell with it and gone. Um, Last weekend, I'm thinking you had a show. Big Money, Anime Con was fun, small but fun, Sussex County. So yeah, you were at the anime show, Rob. I heard it was good. Um, I don't know if I said this before. I love Dave, Garden State Comic Fest guy. Um, I just still can't wrap my head around him doing an anime show. But maybe I'll try it next year. I had some friends that were there, you know. I've only ever done one anime show and it did not turn out that good. So I would like to try one that's better. I was at Free Comic Book Day at Most Excellent Comics and Gaming in Enfield, Connecticut, which is a very good store. Very large, lots going on. The owner, Mason, was gracious and had me back because I had done something at a store in October. Who knows, with everything going on with Diamond, I don't know that this won't be the last Free Comic Book Day. But where I wanted to be was Dark Force Fest, but they had turned me down, and that was the same weekend. And I heard people that were there made crazy money. So, yeah, I did okay though. It was the best. Let me put it this way: it's the best Free Comic Book Day I've ever had. And I've had some good ones and some not so good ones. Um, yes, okay, Jim. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. I saw Steph and Carrie Ann Wilson. Again, reminding everybody that there's Kickstarter going on for their Gobblers #3. I said it at the top of the show, but I got a risque and regular um, cover for their new issue, #3 of Gobblers. I had done a variant for #2, and all my artwork from the two whatchamacallits covers is available to purchase on the Kickstarters. Um, can I post a link? That's a good question. Do I have a link? Do I have a link? I think it's in my clipboard. Where is it? I know nobody specifically asked, but I'm trying to figure it out, if it is. Oh man, what the hell? How come I can't post it? Yeah, come on, man. Really? Did it go through? It did. Oh, there it is. Okay. I think I posted it twice on accident, maybe. But yeah, it's there. You guys click that link, you can go support it. You don't have to, but it is an option. It's up. Okay, cool. Yeah, it was lagging a bit on my phone, so I couldn't tell if it was up or not. Even though I'm not showing my face, I'm still using the laptop and the phone, but I knew I had it in my clipboard on the phone, so that's where I had to go. It's just the phone is not very convenient for doing comments while streaming, at least in this format, which is widescreen. When I'm on Whatnot and it's more of a horizontal layout, it's a little bit easier, but not so with this. So, but I don't know, like StreamYard puts a lot of things in my face while I'm trying to, like, in the comment section, like automatically, and it's truncated on the phone, so it's hard to click around it. The one time I remember I was doing the stream, I started posting a whole bunch of StreamYard stuff because I had some like autofill things. I'm just like, nope, not what I wanted. But yeah, I try not to use the phone for that at all anymore. I think they're trying to save people from leaving StreamYard, but just don't raise your prices. That's not so egregiously. It's not like they raised $1 a month or something. I think it's like quite a bit more now, like substantially. Anywho, yeah, but to finish answering, Free Comic Book Day was pretty good. That store got most excellent comics and gaming got pretty filled. People were there to check out new things. I sold some Chadianas, sold some Kirkland horrors, sold a bunch of artwork because that always seems to be easier to sell. Um, at least for right now. And yeah, saw my friend Steph and Carrie Ann, who I hadn't seen since May, which I know doesn't seem like that long ago, but they're not like around the corner. They're up in Cape Cod, so any chance to see them seems like a real pleasure and treat because it's not like I can just like get in the car and I mean, theoretically I could, but I'm not going to just get in the car and drive to go see them on a whim. It's not like, oh, Tuesday night, feel like going and seeing Steph and Carrie Ann. It's like a 5-hour drive for me. So the biggest problem with them living so far away. I have a couple friends that are like that. I have a few friends that are out in Pennsylvania too that are just not that easy to go see. But I know I'm seeing at least two of them this weekend in Baltimore at Monster Mania. Brian and Christine. I don't know if Dennis will be there. I never got that for sure. Okay. Oh man, I can't believe I got to do that fire still. It just, I feel like I'm so close to finishing this and so far away at the same time. Oh man, that black's popping much better now though. Much, 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 much better. Yeah, that's fine. I hope I'm going to be able to get to the fire tonight. You know, I want to finally get this scanned and color corrected and out to the printer too. But again, adjustments to my schedule. Well, actually, Rob, you're on my Patreon, so you already knew I was making adjustments to my schedule. Maybe I was talking to Jim about it before when he was here. Now I'm forgetting who I'm talking to about what. But anyway, yeah, I just with the adjustments to my schedule, I'm not always working on this during the day. Although I did put some work into it last week. And I say during the day just because, like, I need it for bigger projects, like the live streams or odd hours might be the times when I work on, like, these other projects. I wouldn't call this a small project, but it's certainly not like a major project like a novel or Chadiana or something. The long-awaited Chadiana. Coming soon ish. But again, with the stuff I'm working on now, once I actually complete it, yeah, there should be considerable less delays. I've been saying it for such a long time, but I really mean it because obviously it's taking longer than expected, but I just can't wait till I'm sailing through it again. I'm gonna kind of soft reboot it and do all this stuff. I might as well just do it right and not have to worry about it ever again. And I'm just so meticulous with the way I do things. It just makes more sense for me to stop, get this little bit done, and then go back. You backed the Cobbler Warrior comic. They smashed through that $1,500 goal. You mean the Gobblers? Yes. Awesome. Did you get one cover or both? I appreciate the support, of course. Really hoping somebody gets that OA on that. Oh, did you do it right now during the stream? Maybe you did when I put that up. Um, you got the one. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to assume the regular one. Not everybody wants those risques. It was a request actually specifically of Carrie Ann. She wanted me to have a risque cover this time around. Which I'm happy to oblige. I mean, it's again not work that I normally do, but upon request. I'm not 100% against it. But I know it's not everyone's thing. Yeah, she wanted me to have risque, so they can have the claim to fame, publishing my first risque cover. Actually, before I had even started promoting it, I sold 2 of them. 2. There was a fiasco with Boom Studios and Something Killing the Children. See, this is the stuff that I'm not paying attention to, and then people are probably looking at my campaign and they're just like, JM's fucking doing it just like all these other guys are doing. What happened with Boom Studios? I want to assure you, Rob, and anybody that's potentially watching that backed my Chadiana Kickstarter, everyone's going to get the rewards they paid for. I can't see doing that to anybody. It's just taking me too long. But I didn't know Boom Studios. You know what it is? I mean, I know this sounds kind of crummy. If I back comic Kickstarters, most of the time it's friends of mine. Very occasionally I back something on a Kickstarter that's not someone I know if it's a comic. I have backed game Kickstarters. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I should be using that, but I still, don't get me wrong, I've still done quite a bit. I don't know. I've backed like 31 campaigns or something like that. So, oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I understand, I used to live with somebody. You're married. You got your stuff to do for sure. I know you have a daughter too, but I assume she's older. Might be a dumb assumption, but well, you might have mentioned kind of her age bracket. You don't have to out her age on my live stream. I'm just saying, I got the impression she was already graduated from college at this point. Charged $80 for my hardcover and $30 shipping. Then 3 months before the book came out in Barnes Noble, $49. Oh yeah, no. I'll never list my book for less than what you guys are paying. I feel like Kickstarter backers honestly should pay less, not more, but certainly not more. My son is 40. Your daughter passed away years ago. Oh man, now my heart just sank. Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I didn't mean to bring up a sore subject. I just remember you mentioning her because I remember the Jaleh discussion. Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I hope I didn't bring up something touching. I mean, I'm sure it is, but I hope I didn't hit a raw nerve or whatever. I just had a friend of mine whose father passed away in a house fire, and that's been hitting me kind of hard too. So, my apologies. Right. It's all good. Life. We all move forward. Life is good. Well, I'm glad for that. It just still never nice when somebody brings it up. Either I forgot or I just misremembered. So, I forgot why I brought it up anyway. It was something about, sort of about, there was a reason I brought it up. Oh, household chores. Right. That's why. Makes a lot of sense now. Uh, household chores. Yeah, there we go. Yes, that's how I got on it. Oof. I'm usually better at remembering to follow the breadcrumbs back to the original subject matter. Right. Oh, okay. This is just to add in little extra details. That back part, this was a lot of work. I originally had it more blue before, but it's been a little bit difficult figuring out exactly what color I wanted back there. So in the end, we just went with another purple, but a red, and even if possible, a more reddish purple. So that transition uh, looks a bit like it's fading together from one to the other. It's too bad we can't see much of Chadiana's sword. It's a lot of things that I like about the design. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. So I was saying this too. Part of it is just to be able to um, grab people's attention, but also to kind of work as a beacon wherever I am at a show. My old banner, which was yellows, blues, and greens, um, actually grabbed a lot of attention too. But I thought, well, especially with the new backdrop I've been working with, I needed a new image to put on it. And I felt like the old one wasn't as representative of my color scheme for my business. Also, people had given me the suggestion that I don't make it too complicated, but as far as like the details in it, I don't know how to do that. So my best solution was make it a little bit more monochromatic with some highlighted bits in it. And my other thought was red because it's in my color schemes. It matches Chadiana, and it is one of the colors that gets the most attention, just from a pure branding standpoint. You know, I know it can sometimes have negative connotations. Red, just in violence and stuff like that. But I also needed a color that would work good at horror shows as well as comic shows. And although black is still dominantly a color I use and wear, it doesn't stand out as much. So red was the best solution. But I had tested a purple as well, and the purple really matched with some of my other signage, like my Darkfire Press runner, but didn't stand out as much as the red. And when I say tested it, I did a little computer composite with like colors thrown over a sketch and just kind of threw it behind a picture I took of the banner and blend, a whole bunch of technical things with the computer and, tested out what the color schemes would look like before coming in and doing this. So it reminded me too. I'm trying to find a good container so that I can put a picture of Cirilla on a tip jar on my hey Wendy. Everyone who is here at the moment, Wendy is one of the co-creators of Gobblers, so go and back that campaign. Well, Rob, who I think is still here, already did, but yeah, I have 2 cover versions, a risque and a regular, and both are available in the Kickstarter campaign. I posted that link once, but I'll post it again. Let's see this time. Where are we? Poop, 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 poop. Supposedly it'll go through. There we go. Yep. So yeah, you can get one or both of my covers or back some of the other stuff. I hope you're doing well, Wendy. I know, well, actually, is this working? Actually, Wendy, is there any way that you can, I guess you can to a certain degree. And so many goodies, right? If you're using the closed caption, maybe it's picking me up. I don't know. I speak so softly. I don't know if you're like getting everything I'm saying. But yeah, I see that the Kickstarter is going pretty good. I'm gonna have to back it myself because I think I want the chainmail dice bag, which I just think is the coolest thing. I didn't see it until today because I didn't really look at the I'm on the Kickstarter, but I'm not running it, so I didn't have a need to like go look at it immediately. But yeah, I think I want that. Okay. All right, good. I don't know because again, I'm very soft spoken, so I don't know how well it picks me up. I mean, people that listen to me can't always understand what I'm saying, so I don't know. I feel like I got to work on it. I got to work on maybe go to like a voice coach or something and start getting better at enunciating my words. I feel like I'm getting worse. It's all the cooped up, what do you call it? Hermit lifestyle outside of doing shows. Like, my voice is just not getting so much work, my vocal cords. So I feel like I have to start speaking clearer and louder. Not yelling, of course. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, Jim, hopefully this will get people's attention at shows. That is the main goal of this new piece of artwork. I would have used the old one, but again, gold's not working for me so much anymore. Oh, I'm good on that side. Okay. Isn't that amazing? Oh, now I don't know. You said everything so quickly. Elementary school teach you learn to project your voice. Yeah. Well, I taught high school, but now I haven't done it in a while. Oh, I'm not missing it. But I just at shows, yeah, I feel like I could be better at it. So that's why I'm kind of like sometimes people can't hear me on a live stream and sometimes people can't understand me at a show. So I'm getting more aware of the fact that I gotta project better. You know, I'm a mumbler, you know. Oh, well, thanks, Jim. I hope it does. I hope it does get a lot of attention. No, but that's good. I mean, I don't think you speak loud, but that's the problem is I'm so used to speaking so softly that now it feels like I'm yelling at people, even though like I'm talking at a rate, like I'm trying to raise my voice right now because I'm like aware of it. But normally I'm just so soft spoken. It's criminal. Hey, Eric. Thanks again for all the help. Eric was with us at Free Comic Book Day and doing incredible work helping to sell. Um, Thanks, Wendy. I'm going to give you the tour of the piece, by the way. Eric was helping Steph and Carrie Ann sell a lot. Me too, a bit. But, he was mostly, and I'm not faulting him for it. Just saying, he was a really good help when I went to go get a hot dog. Oh, no. Sorry, I stabbed the piece with the black uh, uh, paintbrush because I wasn't watching what I was doing. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. It'll be all this behind me, big, 10 feet high, my name up there. I keep saying to people, again, going to the soft spoken thing, because I am soft spoken. Hi, Eric, and no problem, my pleasure. Yes, thank you again. Because I am so soft spoken. And I don't love the idea of pitching all the time. I know you got to do it, but it's just a lot of work. I figure, and since I do want to like raise my income and notoriety at these shows and people seeing me, I keep saying I got to let the ego take over with the backdrop. So, Cirilla hair. I'm trying to make it as big and in your face as possible, just so people know I'm there. You know. And it's partly to find me across I've said it a few times. There are people that know I'm at a show and can't find me anymore because they don't know, they can't see me. What type of paint? Oh, it's all acrylic. This is acrylic paint. I mean, I do a lot of watercolors, but for for a piece this big, um, I am using acrylic. Some of it I watered down to look watercolor-ish. I can feel like this would be watercolor. So you don't get lost. Oh yeah. And so I don't get lost. Well, I guess if I could ever get back into New York Comic Con, that would be that would be a time when I would need to not get lost. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes I am at shows and it's hard to remember where my table is. No, but a lot of times, friends are like, "I can't find you. Where are you?" They'll bump into me in a different aisle when I'm just walking around, and I'll like point at my booth, and I'm like, "Right there," and they're like, "Where? I can't see it." And it's like, okay, even though they could just be blind and not paying too good of attention. I also feel like it's not good if they can't find me that easily. So, you know, I needed a new backdrop. Yes, the backdrop having prints all over it helps sell prints, but I'm also looking to have like slightly less prints than I have and a big backdrop with my name nice and big so people don't forget who I am. You know, I lost my table at C2E2. I could believe it. I hear it's a really big show. How's the book going? Which book? Which book? Did Steph send you to like harass me? Is talk to Steph over the weekend. He knows how things are going. Or are you asking in earnest? That's such a piece of work. The one I am finishing. Uh, I'm still finishing it. I did not talk to Steph about it. All right, I'll finish answering that question. You should have a strobe light on a 10-foot pole at the show, and we can find your booth. Well, I mean the pole is 10 feet, so yeah, I just got to add the strobe to it. Um, I don't know if I mentioned it, Wendy, but part of Chadiana's story and lore and the world building is I've been making languages for the world, and unfortunately, it was a important bit that I kept putting off because a lot of people would just tell me it was a waste of time until and I also would talk myself out of my confidence in being able to do it. So I kept putting it off, but it's kind of like a necessary part in some of the book right now. And I just want to confidently move forward with it. So I had stalled things for a couple of months knowingly to finish that up. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought. I didn't have a great April. I was telling everybody I was feeling kind of down. I probably would have finished it, but I only put about 5 hours in. But also my whatchamacallit, I only put about 5 hours in, but also my schedule was not conducive to me getting work done. I later decided, just because certain things I was putting off. So I restructured my schedule again, and I'm getting caught up on things, feeling better. I expect it should be soon. I really thought it was going to be last month, actually. I had told my Patreon supporters. Um, Rob can back me up on that. You know, he got he needs a disco ball with confetti. You say I need a disco ball with confetti. I have other people that say I should be painting my nails, putting on eyeshadow, and looking even more gothic and emo so I can like dress the part. I'll tell you though, I never would have done this. And I'm not going to say who told me to do this, but way back when I created Chadiana in 2012, I think it was a year or two later, I had a friend legitimately tell me I should have been, and I'm telling you I would never do this. So that's the only reason I'm mentioning this. Say that I should like go into the shtick completely, get a carpet, put on a turban. He didn't say speak with an accent, but he was like, yeah, you should sell the book like that. Just, and I was like, I know I'm making a character that's like Indian, but I am not Indian. I am not going to do that. Like, it was still very early on in my life. I didn't have quite the language to tell him how stupid of an idea that was, but I knew inherently then, yeah, more emo. Uh, and thanks that you're glad I'm doing better and I'm still working on it, of course. Dress up brings interest or have a booth babe. Yeah, I need a new girlfriend to have a booth babe. I feel like that's the only way to do it. I'm not going to like pay some girl to come in. Then it just feels like, well, fill in the blank, but I don't know. And then of course, if the booth babe looked like Chadiana, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to want to date her. So, it just seems like kill two birds with one stone, right? But no, really, yeah, it probably would do better. I have another uncomfortable story about a booth babe situation. I had another friend of mine, again, wouldn't have done this. Oh man, he thought I should get a booth babe. We were at Boston Comic Con. So that's how long ago it was. There is no Boston Comic Con anymore. He legitimately was like, what about this girl? And I looked at the girl. She was like across the aisle. And I'm like, I think she's Hispanic. And his response was, oh, that doesn't matter because, and this is from a Hispanic guy, by the way. He's like, it doesn't matter anyway, because in, Corn, he's like, they have Hispanic women play Indians all the time. So he's like, come here, come here, come here. And he made this woman feel so damn uncomfortable. I think it was like probably the most objectified she probably ever felt. And I said, no, really, it's okay. No, thank you. It's okay. You don't like, and he's like, yeah, well, I guess she won't do like man, he was just so terrible about it. I don't talk to that guy anymore, by the way. Just another aside. She will bring all the folks. My kitty will never go. Wait a minute. Dressing up interest, have a booth babe. Yeah, she was with her boyfriend, which I guess both made it better and not better, because at least, and not that I'm saying like a woman needs a boyfriend there, but in that kind of situation, I feel like having a male friend, I guess it could have been a friend, but just any male presence in your corner would have been good. And I was really trying to not yell at my friend on the convention floor and just graciously let the woman leave, because I was trying to make it clear that I had no part in my friend acting like an idiot. But yeah, I imagine it was extremely uncomfortable for her. It's a funny thing working on a female character, and especially a brown girl. You start seeing all kinds of things. I hate to say it that way, but like just some stuff comes up where you're just like, you know, um, racist, misogynistic, just that stuff comes up a lot. I don't think people are too self aware when it does happen. What about this? Kitty will boycott the event then. Yeah, sorry. Hope I didn't go on too much. You have a great night too. Yeah. So yeah, Wendy's on the Gobblers Kickstarter. She is one of the co-creators. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Wendy's responsible for a lot of the background art too in the book. Because if you guys know Steph Wilson, you know that Steph Wilson hates drawing backgrounds. So I'm pretty sure it's like dominantly up to Carrie and Wendy to do those. It is a sad commentary on society these days. So and I don't want to give too much up with that. Not that it's the whole thing of the series, but like it's funny how not as much racism, although skin tone racism, that's in that sense colorism, right? Because I know it does exist and it will play into the storyline to some degree. But Chadiana was early on conceived of having a lot of misogynistic and anti-misogynistic themes in it. So it's just funny how like life sometimes imitates art and vice versa. But yeah, I mean, I don't let it get me down so much. I think if anything, even though, I created the character under uh, earnest and good intentions, I think that in the time since I created the character and just some of the things I've seen and dealt with and heard, it's almost like made me more um, sympathetic and empathetic and just aware of certain things. Um, Certainly more than I was before in some regards. Um, um, and I'm always learning new things. Yeah, but yeah, it is a sad commentary on the state of things. But I kind of always knew that existed. I mean, I um don't want to say too much. It's not like I haven't in the past had friends that were misogynistic, and I unfortunately had relatives, not immediate family, but relatives who, of course, were racist for sure. Um, so it's not that I didn't have like any experience with it, but it's funny how much more comes out sometimes. I think a lot of it is just not conscious. And what I have learned is not everyone's like that, because there are certainly people that don't talk that way. Like, I could never relate to my friends when they were getting misogynistic. Like, I was never a rate women or that kind of thing anyway. And I'm not calling out anybody that has done it, if you've since learned better or whatever, but I was just never that type. But yeah, I've just become more aware about how some stuff comes up just in conversation. Maybe I pay attention to it more now, but not that I'm trying to grandstand or get on this whole thing on my art live stream right now. It's funny. It's funny, not in a ha ha way, but so in that respect, I almost feel obligated to continue with it. You know, brought the stream up on the big screen TV. What a difference! Really, you're probably almost seeing the artwork in its real size. Well, I mean, I don't have an Andre the Giant hand, right? But it is 20 inches by 30 inches, so I'm sure your TV is actually larger than the painting is, even tall. Never mind wide. Um, but yeah, actually, what your TV is probably reflecting is closer to what it'll look like when it's blown up. And oh, I'm painting all this stuff on that gold there, and I got the camera too low. You're probably seeing more what it'll look like at an actual convention. I'm very disappointed if I'm not able to finish the painting part. Oh, the colors pop better? Well, that's even better to know because it's always one of those like failings I feel. We're gonna have to like do some odd angle here of my live streams, which is that I don't feel that my phone camera and my lighting setup combined do a very good job of showing off the colors of my artwork. I always tell people that when I'm doing my whatnot stream, I'm like, when you get your commission in the mail, and they often agree, I'm like, it's going to look a lot more vibrant than the screen is making it look. So it would be nice if you were getting a better representation of the colors. um, yeah, it's just one of them things. And I will probably leave the outline of those golden bits pretty much as they are. I just really wanted to get to the colored pencil part. This part going back over these lines and everything and making things look a little bit more, um, well, popping with I mean, I had to do it with the background too. I had to go back over a lot of my lines with the purple, but it's just a little tedious to re-go over areas for me. But of course, you can see how much more that it's all going to pop now with these on it. And again, it's only these areas. I'm not doing it for that the background there. It's just going to be getting Chadiana to stand out against these fine characters in the back. You know, because I definitely want them to kind of recede a bit. Um, Not completely, obviously, but to a certain extent, yes. And then, actually, I remember I was going to give her lipstick a different shade of purple, but I think that'll work just fine. Sorry, I'm painting her face now. I'm getting like very, very concentrated on what I'm doing here. Okay. I feel like I went in on these spots already with some black, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I did it with the purple, and that's why it doesn't look as dark. I think I was debating whether to use black, but you know what? I feel like I don't mind if my acrylics look like my watercolors with bolder black outlines and stuff. It's part of my style. I should embrace it. It only stinks a little bit when I'm this high up because this paint really vibrates in the sense that, like, you know, you can't see all that detail that's in there because it just starts visually vibrating in the sense that, like, you know, it just really, uh, it's like looking at the sun. You can't bring it into focus, you know? Which might be a good thing with the color I'm using because maybe that'll make sure it really stands out, you know? I was basing it on whatever color I had accidentally made on the computer for the most part. I mean, mixing in person is not always as precise, but I thought, well, the color looks good there, so I might as well mimic it here. And I have colors that are at least close to yellow, cyan, and magenta. So why not? Because, yeah, when I make colors on the computer, I always do it in CMYK and convert to RGB later, unless it's specifically for a web graphic. So, yeah, she's looking all right. Oh God, I gotta do the fire. Gotta do. I'm not upset about doing the fire. I really want to start doing the colored pencil bit. Like, I can't believe I'm still this far away from getting there. Although this part, when it's on the hair and stuff, it doesn't feel as tedious as going over some of the lines in other spots. Wasn't sure, but yeah, we're gonna need to bring that out a little bit. And this and that. Painting metal is fun, at least. All right. I mean, yeah, as far as the outline part goes, we're just about there. Right? Yeah, thereabouts. Thereabouts. I think I am gonna wind up outlining those yellow parts. I just think it still needs something to make it pop a little bit more. We are almost there, though. Well, actually, I forgot to do the top part of her hair. Oh, hmm. Sorry that I'm getting quiet, everyone. I'm just concentrating on some of this. Trying to. Okay. Hang on just a moment. Need my seltzer. Okay. Blood orange cranberry. That's what it is. It's getting a little warm in here still. Or I should say it's still a little warm in here. Okay. Where are we? Let's see now. Mhm. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. Just a little bit of a thicker outline there. I got some other stuff up here. Wait a second. Up a little bit. Because I want to get in this neck and chest area too. It's a weird thing that yellow is such a light color. I mean, oh my god, character. Yellow is such a light color, but it can really, really affect black. Just mute it so much. More than I feel like a lot of other colors can do. It's another one of those things that I don't know that I've ever looked up the science behind it. I've talked about it before, but yeah, it just really has an adverse effect on black. I should really look up why that is. Maybe methods of avoiding it, but All right, getting back to that arm again. I missed a couple of spots. What do What is that? The colors pop right. I gotta go. Catch me next time. Great work. Thanks, Jim. Again, sorry for the quietness. I'm just concentrating on a few fine details. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Maybe come back next week if you can. Be well. I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Hmm. All right. What's up, Cirilla? She just came by, but she didn't come up. What are you up to? Concentration is good. I appreciate that. It's funny how this painting started out loose, got tighter, and now I almost feel like I'm trying to loosen it up again in some odd way with some of the line choices on this. Just because I still like my stuff looking like art at the end of the day. Part of why I use some of the line qualities and effects I do is I never want my art to look like a photograph, which, I'm not looking for like a realistic thing, which I think sometimes I fight with because there's other times where I'm wondering, well, is that what editors are really looking for me? Like, do they just want it to look less like art and more like actual, like a illustrated representation of reality? But I don't know. I don't always like artwork like that. This got too watery here. Sometimes, not always. Mm. All right. So where are we at with this? I feel like her pupils probably should be bigger. Kind of like Cirilla's down there. Just uh, high needs a little bit of work. You could go in with colored pencil later too, but what was I doing? All right, this piece here. I don't know. My live stream people might not see this finish because I might just be doing it during the week when I put the colored pencils in. We'll see though. I'll show it on the live stream the next time though, even if I get it finished. But they'll just be too close to finishing. Rob, by the way, since I know you want artwork from the Kirkland horror, you know that these little guys here in the church and this thing here are actually references. I have 3 Kirkland horror references on this. It got covered up by the paint, but the symbol that those characters wear on their necklaces is that certain characters wear on their necklaces is supposed to be on this little bit of wood here. So that rings a bell, no pun intended. It's a Kirkland horror joke. If anybody's watching this and has not read my second novel, you absolutely should. And you should go leave a review for it on Amazon and Goodreads, because those help me out. Anything you've read of mine. All right. I think, maybe I've finished with the paint for the moment. What are you up to there, Cirilla? She wants to get up. I can see it. I can see it. She's trying, and she's trying real hard. What happened? What happened? It looks like it got lopsided. No, it's just the way my... Is it? Oh, it's this cord. Oh, there we go. It's like pulling it off center. She doesn't come up. I'm gonna give her the opportunity. Damn, all that paint dried. I just feel like this could be... Maybe it's just because it's partially covered up when I went in. Oh, don't drink that paint water, lady. The logo sticker. Just trying to drink the paint water. She's just obsessed with water. She might not even be trying to drink it. She might just want to see it spill. The logo sticker I have on my phone. You're surprised you didn't put that on the coffin. You mean my logo? That's gonna go there. And then I'm gonna superimpose the Dark Fire Press logo on that one. My logo, Dark Fire Press. My logo, Dark Fire Press. Sorry. I hope I didn't make anyone dizzy. Yeah, that's how it'll go. But originally I was going to draw them in, but I want the Dark Fire Press logo especially to look right. I may still paint my logo in there, but Dark Fire Press logo, I'll just superimpose it on the computer. So, but no, you're right. I just, it's possible, depending on how I frame this, that these could get cut off. Depends on how wide I go. But that will definitely be in frame. Especially, like, I'll probably put this on a bookmark too, and it's not going to fit it all in. It'll fit the characters, but not the sides. Yeah, I haven't decided if I want to go all the way widthwise with it or not. Okay. It's fire time. It's time to improve the fire colors on the painting. Now we're getting into red and yellow territory. I am going to continue the stream until the fire is done, because in all honesty, it shouldn't take me that long. And then, on another day, I will to the colored pencil bit. Anyone is welcome to stay if they wish. If they don't, I do apologize for the long stream. But, this be how it goes sometimes. That's a good question. How much of this am I going to use here? Maybe I will use red instead of the magenta. I'll use this nice cadmium red I have. It may make the fire stand out just a little bit better. I don't know. Can try it. Oh, good. The white paint is still wet. I say that because white paint is much better at covering up dark colors. Now, that might look a little funky at first, but I promise it's going to be okay. Trust the process. This is how I should have done it from the start, but I really wanted those light sources to kind of be showing the color they were going to be before. But that white being mixed in is going to make it a lot easier to cover up some of the dark bits and allow the yellow to shine out in its own right. Back down here to the pumpkin. Jack-o'-lantern. Okay. Jack-o'-lantern is going to be the real measurement by which all the other yellow lights is going to be compared against. So, oh wow, this orange is pretty close to what that red was. That's okay. Just trying to do a cover up job first. I've set it on my Whatnot stream quite a bit, but painting fire is a lot of fun because it's pretty fluid. I don't have to be so exacting. I do right now at the mouth of the jack-o'-lantern, but the other two flames I can be a little bit freer with the placement and shape of it, which is something I find very very fun about doing artwork is not always having to have a perfect approach to things. That's the one that's really thinking. So, well, that orange sticks out much differently up there, which is nice. Okay. Right. All right. Now we got two more to do. Golden yellow and a pale yellow. Might have to do multiple layers of it, but this is how it's done. This is layering the colors of fire over the top of each other. Now it's possible I let the jack-o'-lantern keep the yellow or the golden yellow, and not go for the pale yellow. I will see how I feel after I do the other flames. Only because I don't think of well, that's a good question. I mean, I could just leave it a golden yellow and do the same for the lantern and only have like the whitish bit of flame on that on the flame pillar up at the top. Good question. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I'll figure it out in a bit. First, though, gotta make sure that this really gets that glow look. This is how I did it on the windows of the church, too. Just enough in there that I can spread it out with my finger from the center. I will probably have to go over these lines again a little bit with the black outline, but just to get them having that glow look, having a little bit of this is helpful. All right. Oh man, that's off camera. I forgot about it. Sorry. Right. Okay. I may be going back in on that pumpkin too. Jack-o'-lantern. I don't know why I keep saying that. Pumpkin versus jack-o'-lantern. What's interesting, and you probably wouldn't know it, is that red in the background is actually magenta and yellow mixed together. So this color that I'm putting down right now is directly part of the background color. It's in the mixture. Hmm. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that I just leave this kind of the yellows with the purples and not go in with any kind of white. It just might have a better look that way. And of course, I'm using it. You would think not with fire, but I'm going pretty opaque here rather than watering it down and making it transparent or translucent. Just because I feel like the brushstrokes showing more prominently makes for better fire texture. And it helps the colors stand out more in relation to the way the other colors sit on the canvas or paper or board in this case. Mm-hmm. There too. Oops. A little bit higher. I'm like holding the tripod in one hand while I do this. It's just easier than raising it, bring it back down again. Now, possible I add some orange lines over there. Yeah, you know what I might do? I might make this a slightly pale yellow for the middle of this. See, I don't think the jack-o'-lantern needs that. I just think the lantern is fine with it. But then the top one. It's probably going to have to dry more. It's mixing too much. All right. Well, while I let it dry, I guess I'll do my outro. Well, everyone, thanks for coming by today. Again, this is coming along nicely. It may be done by the next live stream, and I'll just show it off on camera. I mean, my Patreon supporters probably will see it before then, but before I post it elsewhere, I'll show off the finished product. Otherwise, yeah, have a great night. If you are in Baltimore this weekend, come see me at Monster Mania. Go, whatchamacallit, support the Gobblers number 3. Again, I got 2 versions of my whatchamacallit, my thing in there. What is it called? My variant cover. Okay, so go support that. And yeah, for the rest of the month, I'll be in Philadelphia area twice. Fan Expo Philly next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. And then the Geekdom Con. And then I'll be back in New Jersey for New Jersey Ink Fest at the end of the month, transitioning into June. So yeah, keep an eye out. I got more artwork dropping soon. And hopefully finally Chadiana number 3 and 4 coming out soon. So yeah, just give me a little time. I'll have everything organized, and you'll be able to see this at conventions soon, as soon as I finish it and send it to the printers. All right, everyone, take care, and I will see you the next time that I make it on to, next Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern. See you then.